Peace FM 104.3. Would you mean Taki?
My final question to you, Nefe Mako round. Obi the chat be Abremi.
Yes.
Liberia, Roberts International Airport PCR test free. UK Heathrow PCR $200. Benin PCR $165. Kotoka International Airport antigen $150. Austria Vienna Airport PCR $140. Nigeria all international airports PCR $130. I beg your pardon, dollars. Lebanon Beirut PCR $100. Sierra Leone Lungi International PCR $80. Senegal Blaise Diagne Airport PCR $75. Togo Lomé Airport PCR $72. Germany Frankfurt Airport PCR $70. Rwanda Kigali Airport PCR $60. Russia Sheremetyevo Airport PCR $38. India Goa Airport antigen $28. Malaysia Kuala Lumpur International Airport antigen $28. Djibouti Airport PCR $28. Turkey Istanbul Airport PCR $16. India via Savaka International Airport antigen $7. Ghana yeah antigen yeah the $150.
Yeah.
India $28. Malaysia $28. Another India barco almost $7. How do you respond to this?
The response is quite simple. Who can say PCR is about $72.
Yeah.
But it's for a Togolese to pay 72. If you are coming from France, now you have to do a PCR there. No, quote €150. They will quote in your country a charge. So some countries have discriminatory pricing. What is happening at Kotoka is that we don't have discriminatory pricing. It's universal for everybody. So who can say Nigeria is $130? Now this is what is happening in Nigeria. When you do the PCR, the result is not within 30 minutes or 1 hour. So you have to go to a hotel and spend at least a night as you wait for your results. The state does not pay for the hotel. You pay for it. Rwanda is about 75, like you quoted, in Kigali. But you go into a hotel, straight into a bus, Ukoda one night, as you wait for your PCR result. You pay the night yourself. So if you pay $100, you add to that 75, who them $175. Now let me use the India example. It's a classical one. So in India, they can do an antigen test for let's say $7. Ube Komunu, the company producing it has been sponsored by the state. So really, a state program and no roll out. So state is absorbing for maybe 99% of the cost. And then yet sebi provision and that's a solution from a private person. State involvement. And to charge scar sebi our form. But we outsider now we have PCR tester or child lab now ube maybe $100 or $150. So that is what is happening. Now number two, there are countries, for example, Russia. $38. But forgive me, some countries, a strong arm regime, kakra. And to all the workers at $38, the majority even don't get the opportunity to do this test unless you're a foreigner. Now, because all the US, or not subsidizing the cost of the test so that the foreigner will know that in my regime, you pay lower than you pay in the US. So there is politics and all kinds of geographical considerations into the pricing. But when you take the commercial price on the market, anything I call US PCR charge $200. But if the US government here for the citizens, I bet you $50. Now, one thing so America can say, not all antigen tests come with the same level of sensitivity. Oh, antigen tester out of 100 severe corona cases, I bet pick just about 40 or 50. The price for that antigen test, although it's also an antigen test, would be lower than another solution which is doing neck to neck with a PCR machine. So even among antibody tests, they even rapid, the prices are different. Obi the people ministry, every man in my office, also Dr. Okoe Boye, if you people approve, this one is $1. Obi did the same quick test antibody by Okoe Boye way is $10. And I've also seen a $40 antibody test. So even for each kind of test, there are different prices depending on the level of accuracy. And then finally, this is what I'm saying. If Obiba Ganaha now or you positive for the COVID virus. Yeah, you know Koga East. Almost every cost will be borne by what? The state.
Me too.
Oh, you're positive for your now. You know Koga East at breakfast, a kufa do betua. Lunch, you pay. Supper will pay. A driver will pay. Monetary will pay. In our protocol, that is the aspect we have decided to absorb. Previously, we were absorbing both hotel bills at a point. The first 1,000 required time, I over 120 something cases. Government paid for their hotel bills, paid for their PCR, and paid for their lunch and teas as well. Because now a national response. At a point, we said, okay, come in, but you pay for your hotel. We've gotten to the stage where we are saying, we are not stopping you from coming to Ghana, but please, we are not going to absorb part of the cost. And we are not going to send you to a hotel for a night. We have a solution which gets rid of all of that. And what we are paying for is the accuracy and the speed. And by the way, different prices in different regimes come with different formula. Some are being absorbed apart by the state. Some have different sensitivity level. Some are outright antibody tests, nowhere near the reliability of an antigen test.
Obi free Ghana kwa ono so bedeng.
Good.
If somebody is leaving Ghana.
Me can't wait for Chemi. Now who say me can't be so Okoe Boye renting a baby Okano and now you never do. President, just started here COVID task force on HFS.
Yeah.
At the point, no the responses in Niama or is a chief medical officer can easily pick between a measure that is unnecessary or burdensome and one that is very, very important. Only say the first protocols for traveling outside the country. Now can you mandate to say answer about because we have PCR test answer Africa and I press the bishop say no now they achieve it and Obi catch me say oh na some years say only virus and I catch me say now only international policeman say Obi try Ghana actually say Obi free Ghana come Malaysia and also only virus. We have a measure that stops you from bringing the virus. So Obi free Ghana say you know we come on no kwa but the requirement will be all kono and there was only the so if you are traveling to US and the requirement is that you need a negative PCR report about no Gucci if they said all they need is an antigen report antigen a test which identifies the virus Papa no airport now Abu in fact we are working hard and now soldiers 3 about my office coming. It was not an arrest. Obi frame me say soldiers 3. Also if you want to see me say anya bibia this. We want to help 37 to have a PCR installation. There are 1 or 2 private labs that can do a PCR test. But we don't want a situation where Sebi about say there abai obi ba wa see Sebi obi a private. Now obi be free say wa abai no umbua wa institutions. So PCR testing capacity within the shortest possible time is being worked on for 37 to have. So now we are Ghana now we call abroche. Now it's we have PCR tester. Obeti we 37 and now no Gucci. Now we are reporting our call. So it's just an antigen. You can pass through what do you call it? The airport. We are working hard to get Rich Hospital to also get an antigen testing capacity similar to what is at airport. Yeah. There's one thing we've not considered. There were many patients in Kolebu and other hospitals. Yet in 250, you say oh COVID I didn't know 2 COVID ward, and now only COVID I didn't know 2 medical ward. Now you know what happens if you've not decided on that thing and you are waiting for results. You treat that person as if you're a COVID patient. Yeah. And to Ube now we share overall. Ube over 2 weeks you use overall 1 ton so results by negative. Just say all this one wasting material. So this antigen test which identifies the virus is also the biggest solution to stopping this wastage in our hospitals. So that if it can do over 1,000 in 1 hour, imagine, it means samples from Accra can all come to Reach. And within 30 minutes, you can get a report at Lekma that the guy who is coughing, forget it, is not COVID. Let him go on the ward and there's no fear. So we are looking at a way to empower a few government hospitals beyond the gene expert machine. So it is now Minister Honorable Kokwa Jamenu Yama Hospital at 37 gene expert machine. Tamale Teaching Hospital almost a gene expert. It is also a machine that can detect COVID. Gene expert machine. No? Yes, it's traditionally for detecting polio bacteria. We call it acid fast bacilli technology, but you can configure it. Now, now the same cassette. The only shisha
polio, no.
Sorry, TB.
TB more.
Tuberculosis. I'm sorry. Polio is a virus. TB is a bacteria. What you use to look for the TB bacteria, you can use the same thing to look for COVID-19. But Way has a throughput, AI throughput. Just say you can do many in a short time.
Okay.
And the sensitivity is also very high. So welcome. These are some of the measures we are trying to put in place.
With the Charles Minister, sorry, sir. Maybe I'm bringing you important. Not in here,
This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.